Welcome to the Col Cycling Club. Today we're stood on the side of Rocky Lane in St Agnes, Cornwall, because this is the perfect location to introduce the Col Basecamp Challenge. Before I tell you exactly why Rocky Lane is the perfect location to introduce the challenge, between the 1st and the 24th of December, our challenge to you is to ascend an accumulated elevation of 5,364 metres or 17,598 feet, which, if you weren't aware, is the equivalent elevation of the Mount Everest Basecamp. So why Rocky Lane? Well, at an average gradient of just under 12%, a distance of around 520 metres, rising around 69 metres per repetition, I think Rocky Lane could well be the perfect location, at least in my local area, to complete what is often thought of as the holy grail of an elevation challenge. And that is to complete the challenge in one go. Just like our 8-8-4-8 summer challenge, you can also do the Basecamp challenge in one sitting. That would be to complete 78 laps of Rocky Lane, or your local climb. We recently conducted a bit of a test here and we found that for a 3-minute and 30 ascent we had 50 seconds of recovery, primarily in first gear. The gearing was a bit of a question. I have a 36-30, which meant that I had an average cadence of around 60 to 62 RPM per rep. This is probably a little bit on the low side, but with those durations it would have meant the challenge would have been possible to achieve in just under 6 hours. If you want to see me take on the Basecamp challenge this December, drop it down in the comments below and we'll give it our best shot. So if that's the holy grail, what is the second best way to achieve this month's Basecamp challenge? The second best way to complete the Basecamp challenge would be to work out on average how many meters of elevation you're going to need to climb each week and divide this out among however many rides you're going to be doing. You have 24 days to complete the challenge. It's highly unlikely for most of us that we're going to ride every single day of the month throughout December. Therefore, if you're riding 4 or 5 times a week, calculate the average of the elevation needed on each of those rides and aim for that. My favourite way of doing this is to complete a loop with a certain amount of climbing. That way I know that I'm doing 700 metres of climbing, for example, on that day. And that way I can work out how many metres of elevation I'm going to need towards the end of the month. One of the best ways of doing this is to have a hillier ride one day of the weekend where you know you're going to do the majority of those metres of elevation. And then number 3, of course, virtual elevation counts as well, so why not join the Col Cycling Club on Zwift? We're going to host 2 special Saturday rides with increased elevation. These will be up Alpe d'Huez, along with our regular weekday training rides. And just to assist in completing the challenge, our weekday rides will also be hosted on slightly hillier terrain than is normal. I really hope you found these tips useful and it helps inspire you to go out and complete the Basecamp challenge. Good luck, and let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see me do the challenge as well.